ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
On a hot, humid Sunday afternoon in New York City, it is time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. It's the New York Yankees against the Seattle Mariners in the final game and the rubber game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Well, yesterday it was all about Felix Hernandez, and the Yankees were shut out for only the 10th time at the new Yankee Stadium. And sometimes you just have to tip your cap to a pitcher and say, that's pretty good.
Well, yeah, unbelievable stuff. I mean, if you go through what happened yesterday, there was really not much to talk about offensively. Mike Karp drives in the only run of the game, and that's right, folks. That's the offensive highlights of the day. 1-0 shutout. Felix Hernandez, if you watch these 3 strikeouts, bam, fastball, changeup, slider, and the problem was he had control of all of them. That's why he was so good yesterday.
He was outstanding. Let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Going for the Mariners, Hisashi Iwakuma, 2-2, 4.10. Freddie Garcia gets the start for the Yankees, 4-5, 5.10. And Paul, he hasn't pitched that poorly, but he has not been able to ring up any wins lately.
Well, you talk about a team going through little struggles, and you want guys to come through. Freddie Garcia is really having a bounce-back start. He's lost his last 3 outings, and the problem is Freddie's been up in the strike zone. He hasn't been getting bombed, but he's been having a lot of opportunities to try to get through innings. Sooner or later, they're tacking on runs. Again, he's lost 3 in a row. Big start for him today.
Big start for him, big start for the Yankees as they try to win this series. And Freddie Garcia could use some offensive help from his former teammate and present teammate, Ichiro Suzuki. An 11-game hitting streak for Suzuki with a weird stride and a weird hitting style. Paul O'Neill will explain how he does it when we get back right here on Yes. Suzuki's riding an 11-game hitting streak. He's 1 away from Don Slaught for the longest hitting streak to begin a Yankee career. And for Ichiro, it's been 1 hit in each of those 11 games. Welcome back to Yes. That's Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Paul, that's not the way you teach hitting. How does he do it? I've never seen a guy hit like that.
You know, fundamentally, I don't know how you do teach hitting, other than he's a gifted athlete that knows how to make contact. He hasn't struck out in over 50 at-bats. He uses his speed. I mean, you see, if he puts the ball in play, he has a chance to get on first base. This has been his MO since he showed up over here. The only thing that concerns me since he's been here is he's hit a lot of balls in the air also. Ichiro, when he's at his best, slaps the ball the other way, beats it out, sets up guys to drive him in.
Well, so far so good for Ichiro. As I said, an 11-game hitting streak. It was photo day before the game. Yankees were out in Forest, Mariano. You got a little Alex Rodriguez. The whole team was out there. Is today going to be picture perfect? Baseball next. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Benjamin Moore. Transform your home with color. Visit BenjaminMoore.com. By the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer, and by Chase with more innovative ways to make your banking easier. Take a step forward and chase what matters. It is a broiling Sunday afternoon here at Yankee Stadium. It's hot, it's humid, and we'll see how it affects everybody on the field. Freddie Garcia taking his warm-up tosses. Why don't we take a look at the Mariner lineup that he is going to face? Dustin Ackley at first base will lead off. Michael Saunders in center field bats second. Batting third and catching, Jesus Montero. John Jaso, the DH, will clean up. Batting fifth, playing second base, Kyle Seager. Eric Thames in right field will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing left field, Trayvon Robinson. Yunimori Kawasaki is the shortstop. He'll bat eighth. And batting ninth, the seldom used third baseman, Sean Figgins. And there's big Freddie Garcia, the veteran right-hander, with a 4-5 record. 5.10 ERA, 20 games, 10 starts, 76 hits in 67 innings, 52 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .289 against him. Let's take a look now at the McDonald's pitcher's scouting report.
Well, he needs to turn it around. He's lost his last 3 starts, which we talked about earlier in the broadcast, and he's never had 4 straight, so he needs to turn it around today. Swing and miss. This is interesting. In his last 4 games, 20 strikeouts, all on swinging. Swing and misses. The guys aren't taking off him. And early jitters, hasn't been getting off to a very good start. He has a 12.60 first inning ERA this year, which usually gets him in a mess.
Facing his former teammates, the Seattle Mariners, who are 15-7 since the All-Star break. Only the Oakland Athletics have a better record in the American League during that time. Just 1 fewer loss. Oakland is 15-6. Again, Seattle is 15-7. Yankees won the first game behind a great pitching performance by CC Sabathia. They won 6-3 yesterday. The Mariners behind Felix Hernandez. Splendid outing. They won 1-0. So this is the rubber game. And Dustin Ackley digs in. He'll be the first baseman today. Usually a second baseman. Ackley's in there. Freddie Garcia is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is lined for base hit to right field.
I was going to say, you've had 2 good pitching performances yesterday. The Yankees shut out. This might be the slugfest. We'll see what happens.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. For the Yankees, you've got Ichiro in left, Granderson in center, and Swisher over in right. Infield, Nix, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Chris Stewart behind the plate, and Freddie Garcia is on the mound. So Ackley's at first base, and by the way, the Mariners are 28-20 with Ackley leading off. Not too bad for a team that's 51-58. Here's Saunders. A drag bunt. Off the mound quickly is Garcia. He'll get Saunders. Moving to second is Ackley. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 89 degrees. Humidity is 61%. The wind is 14 miles per hour, and the forecast is cloudy.
Must be later because it's sunny right now.
It's still cloudy. It rained pretty hard about an hour ago, and they were about to put the tarp on. They rolled it out halfway, and then it stopped raining. Everybody heaved a sigh of relief, and they put the tarp back near the stands on the third base side. Here's Jesus Montero. Do we know if that was scored a sacrifice? Did anybody hear that? We'll find out. It was a sacrifice. Pitch outside. Never quite understood why that would be a sacrifice when he was clearly trying to drag bunt his way on, but so he gets a free chance at a hit.
It's all the timing in life, Michael.
Yep.
What do you do with things, you know? You get a free chance at a hit there by just moving a guy over.
And now you move another guy over. That ball gets away from Stewart as Ackley moves to third.
We talked about it in the scouting report, my in-depth scouting report, by the way, Michael. He has so much trouble in the first inning. Well, right now, this pass ball, going to have another opportunity for an easy run to add to that 12.6 first inning ERA he's put up this year.
They score that a wild pitch. That one is lined into right center field. It is a base hit for Montero. Fielding it deep is Granderson. He fires the ball in, holding Montero to an RBI single. Ackley scores, and the Mariners are up 1-0.
You see what Seattle is doing, and that's to hit Freddie Garcia early in the count. And see, that ball is just spinning. I mean, even if it's off the plate, there's not much break to it. Montero, we talked about it yesterday, can handle the ball and use right center field. Freddie Garcia really needs to get in 2 strike counts where he can get guys swinging at balls in the dirt. See the problem with the Seattle lineup. You know, they've won, what, 7 out of 8 or 8 out of 9. And here's your 4th hitter. He's got 5 home runs.
He misses the tag on Montero, so Jaso's out, and Cano can't believe it, standing there with his hands on his hips.
The good thing about this is we'll see a replay. That string on his glove might have caught him, but I don't think that he ended up touching it. Just missed him. Good job by Montero staying out of the way. Joe Girardi wants to find out for sure if he saw the play. Question if he had a right angle.
So that scored a simple 4-3 as Montero moves into scoring position for Kyle Seager. I like that. Angel Campos is doing the eon behind the plate.
One guy who has really taken advantage of kind of a weird stat. Seager leads all major league with 37 2-out RBIs. Second, Andre Ethier with 34. So he's done a real good job in these kind of situations.
And those are hits that really seem like they break a team's back.
Oh, yeah. Pitchers especially. I mean, you almost had the first inning. You've already given up a run. You figure your offense is going to come through after yesterday being shut out. You're going to score some runs, but you've got to save runs when you have opportunities, and this is one of those opportunities.
And there's a 2-out base hit. Let's see if that scores Montero. They're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. He is out.
He ran through the stop sign. We'll see a replay when we come back. But Montero got so far around third, he ran right through the stop sign.
Swisher comes up throwing. Fires it home on one hop. And Stewart makes the play on the chest of Montero. Campos is there. He's out. It's 1-0 Seattle. scoring their second run, but it's 1-0 Seattle, and there's the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus that will try to make up that deficit. The center fielder, Curtis Granderson, leads off. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, bats second. Batting third, Cano, the second baseman. Teixeira's at first base. He'll clean up. Batting fifth, DHing Raul Ibanez. Nick Swisher's in right field. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing left field, Ichiro Suzuki. Jason Nix, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, Chris Stewart. And here is the set of numbers on Hisashi Iwakuma. 19 games. This is his sixth start. 2-2 record, 4.10 ERA, less than a hit per inning, too many walks, and the opponent's hitting .248 against him. Let's take a look at the McDonald's pitchers scouting report.
Well, there's a new leader in town, Michael. His last outing, he had 13 strikeouts. And that broke the previous record of 12 set by Freddie Garcia as a Mariner rookie. Freddie did in 1999. Homesick, just does not pitch well on the road. Guys are hitting over 300, 6.3 ERA, and at home, completely different thing. 3 ERA with a 2. Guys are hitting 200. So good career in Japan. 11 professional seasons in Japan. He was 107 and 69.
And he'll face Curtis Granderson. Last play of the top of the first inning, you'll watch as Montero runs for the stop sign of Jeff Datz.
You see Jeff Datz, and right there I think Montero put his head down for just an instant, and he put his hand up and he ran right through it. He got so far down the line that he forgot to pick him up late. And you knew this was going to be, but I think if he would have gone in with his feet, much better chance to get in there. That little trick slide around gives Stewart a lot more time to make a tag. Imagine that swish. Usain Bolt working in there. I should have put in the scouting report he's got a hard first name. Huh?
You have had some difficulty even talking about it off the air. And a walk to the leadoff batter. Why don't we check out the Mariner defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, that's going to be Robinson, Saunders, and Thames left to right. And in infield, Figgins, Kawasaki, Seager, and Ackley third and first. Montero behind the plate. And Paul, you know who's on the mound? Hisashi Iwakuma.
Thank you. He's saying that all the way home.
Here is Derek Jeter. And a strike. In Seattle, Jeter led off the game against Iwakuma in a very rude way. For Iwakuma, at least, he hits one into the bullpen for a home run.
He ended up having 3 hits that day, and it's funny because his last start in Toronto started off with a home run, and then he had that big performance. He went 7 scoreless innings after that. So he relies a lot on movement with the sinker, and when that ball is straight out over the plate, it's going to get hit hard.
Last 3 starts have been impressive.
He's a guy that came back into the starting rotation, had some problems early in the year coming out of the bullpen. He's always been a starter in Japan. Injuries will do that. He'll get you back in the starting rotation. He's been good as of late. Starting pitchers sometimes coming out of the bullpen just don't fare well because they don't get loose. They don't have the proper amount of time to think about things. So it's just kind of a schedule. Wedge and Robbie Thompson over there, who used to be with the San Francisco Giants, have played against him, and he was with Eric Wedge in Cleveland for a while. Eric Wedge has an interpreter right next to him in case he needs to scream something out from the mound. about this series, Michael, and neither team has run. Anybody's on base, they've kind of stayed put and wait for the big inning. So you just wonder if today's the day that there'll be runs scored and you'll see some hit and runs, possibly some stolen bases. Slider off the plate, and he can run that fastball in on G's hands, or he can get that slider that he hopes he can fish it. But you saw if he leaves that fastball over the plate, as G did in Seattle, he's going to get hit hard.
Two. Grounded to third. Sean Figgins goes to second one. No return throw.
You remember that name, Sean Figgins, and he did so much damage against the Yankees when he was with the Angels. Play there, got the first out. But Michael, we talked about it before the game. I mean, here was a guy that was traded over that could have been a big part of something here and just has not been able to bring the same offense that he did with the Angels.
It seems like once he signed that big free agent contract, he became a different player. He's essentially a bench player. He doesn't play at all.
Comes into the game hitting 181 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs, and just one of the guys you brought in here to be a leader of this team.
Cano fouls it away.
So Akuma looked down after that foul ball, knowing he got away with one. Robbie Cano came up swinging off the on-deck circle, and he got a fastball right down the middle of the plate with little movement. Just missed it. A bit better pitch there, got it in on his hands. He's ahead 0-2 with Robbie on fastballs. Derek still got his smile on for picture day today. Michael, you were a part of that, weren't you?
Yeah, it was great. That one's grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Jeter goes to third, so does the throw. Mishandled by Sean Figgins. And Cano moves into second on the throw.
This was all done by Derek Jeter, taking that extra base and baiting the center fielder to throw through. Robbie does a good job of following him. Sean Figgins comes up with that clean. Probably got a chance at Robbie, but when you put pressure on the defense, they don't always make it through. There's a better sinker, but Robbie gets it up the middle.
Cano's got a weird streak going. That is his 6th straight first inning at bat with a hit. 3 singles, 2 doubles, and a home run. And his double yesterday was the only runner the Yankees had in scoring position against Felix Hernandez. Well, now they have 2 in scoring position with 1 out and Mark Teixeira at the plate. And the Mariners play the infield back on the right side. They'll give up a run on a ground ball that would tie the game.
Before the game, I almost tweeted out, I got a big feeling Tex is going to have a big offensive day. After his little break, with his wrist, he's been swinging the bat well. And I wish I would have sent it out. Now he's in a position I would look pretty good.
Well, now more people have heard you than would have read you.
All right, well, I'm putting it out there then. Thanks. Let's go.
Count 1-1.
Talked about a little bit when he came, just when he came back, you know, you watch his swings to see if he's kind of guarding that wrist. It was his left wrist, and you know, his swings have been good. Doesn't look like anything's bothering him. It's the important thing to get through that first 2 or 3 games and not re-injure it. Another good swing. Again, this ball, a little bit better pitch in on his hands. Up enough where Teixeira got under the ball.
Count 2-2.
Good take there. It's a split finger fastball. That's the strikeout pitch that a lot of pitchers go to.
Nothing wrong with you there.
I was say, could be my hero today too after I threw that out.
Still 2-2. After this game, the Yankees head to Detroit for a 4-game set with the Tigers.
The 4-game set starts off with Justin Verlander pitching tomorrow, right?
Yep. And the Mariners will go to Baltimore. Iwakuma wants Montero to go through the signs again. Chopped slowly to the second baseman Seager, and they do not get to Teixeira. Cheater scores. That's an RBI single, and the game is tied at 1. That's exactly what you were thinking about, Paul.
That's right. He's going to start off with a little infield single, probably at least his second or third of the year, right? Hustled down the line, and that shift was so deep. Teixeira ran right into it. You see it's every once in a while you see a couple plays in this first inning that could have been a little bit different. Ackley is a tremendous defensive second player, and he is safe. Robbie's ball got up the middle. This ball ends up being a single.
Sometimes the shift will bite the defense every now and then. It's been hurting the Yankees in this series, but that time, because he was playing such shallow right field, had to come in. Seager missed getting to Teixeira, who picks up an infield hit and an RBI. Moving to third is Cano. Game tied at 1. Here is Ibanez.
It's a pitch right there that Iwakuma really needs. Sinker down in the strike zone. If he doesn't get that, then he's going to have to pitch up a little bit. That's where he's going to get hit.
That's a strike. One and two.
He's been able to get to these counts where he's ahead of hitters. He has not been able to get anybody to fish at that split finger. I mean, you're looking for a strikeout here with a man on third. 1 out. Obviously, a double play wouldn't be a bad thing either for the pitcher. But you get in a 2-strike count, and all of a sudden you start thinking strikeout.
Swing and a miss. He gets the strikeout, 2 away.
It's a split finger. That's 84 miles an hour. Takes 6-7 miles an hour off of the fastball and gets movement. Same kind of sinking movement that he gets with his fastball.
Runners still on the corners for Iwakuma as Swisher's at the plate. The photo day event took a little bit longer than it should have because the players, what they do is all the season ticket holders were standing on the warning track in the outfield, and the players walking around the edge so people could take pictures of them, and then they go back in the clubhouse. But because Nick was out there and just shook hands with everybody and took individual pictures with everybody, they stayed out there about 10 minutes longer than they should have.
That last 10 minutes really helped you in your suit and tie out there, didn't it? It was a little toasty out there.
A little toasty. This was this morning. A thrill for a lot of people to get on the field, and players were great with everybody. A thrill for everybody to see Derek Jeter up close. The 2-0. 2-1. First inning's been a good inning for the Yankees. 88 runs in the first. That's the most they've scored in any inning this season. Looking for more. Paul, I'll tell you this, nobody is going to look at Iwakuma and confuse him with Jim Cott.
No. The game has definitely slowed down.
Wow.
I mean, men on base is thinking out every pitch.
He makes Josh Beckett seem like he's working quickly. 3-1. Pounded sharply to Seager, and that will do it. But the Yankees tie the score, 1 run on 2 hits and 2 runners left. Why don't we go to the second? It's a 1-1 game. Eric Thames will lead off for Seattle. Which of these players left the greatest legacy during his time with the Mariners? We've had some really good players. Text your vote to 42951. Choose between Alex Rodriguez, Edgar Martinez, Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr., and Randy Johnson. Standard text messaging rates apply. I would have to say it's probably Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, I mean, he was the natural thing. He came up as a kid and was kind of the poster child for that franchise. You know, when I look at that list, The only thing that really amazes me is there's not a World Series banner in Seattle, because they have had some good players and players that played with at the same time with good teams. Yankee fans take it for granted that, you know, you bring a group of guys together and you have a little window, and if you don't get those World Championships in those little windows, then you're back to, you know, square one, where Seattle started kind of last year and this year trying to build back up.
Count 2-1 to Thames. Ground ball to second. Cano is there. One out here in the second.
Mark Teixeira kind of got a break towards that ball, and I remember in my high school days as a first baseman, when you take a break, then you get over to first base late, and you just hope that that second baseman waits for you to pick up the ball, because see, you go over and then you get back and you have to look, and if that second baseman has already thrown the ball, it's hard to pick up sometimes. And Robbie gives him plenty of time.
Trayvon Robinson shows bunt, who takes a strike.
One thing Freddie has done is thrown strikes, and again, he's more successful when he gets ahead in the count, as is every pitcher, but that's when that split finger becomes much better for him. Guys are swinging it out of the zone.
Count 1-2.
See Freddie not lighting the radar game up tonight. I mean, 85 on a fastball, 82 on a slider. When you're throwing at that velocity, you better mix it up and you better spot your pitches. There's your split finger.
2-away. Here is Munenori Kawasaki, and it almost looks like a carbon copy of Ichiro. Wow.
See if he bends down and get those ankles loose, huh?
Kawasaki in there. Brendan Ryan got plunked on the elbow yesterday, so he's out for today. Joe's bunt takes outside.
Freddie throws so, you know, that's so off speed that it makes you give up that bunt so early that it's hard to even bunt off a guy like this. Last pitch at 79 miles an hour.
Strike. Count 2-2.
He's working down, and he's working good today because he's throwing strikes and he's mixing it up. Again, he's not going to throw that fastball by anybody, so very hard to keep this up for a whole game, but he's so far so good.
Scatters some of his teammates with that foul ball, but hit the fence in front of the dugout.
Chris Chambliss over there, hitting coach. Been around long enough to know they keep that head behind the screen.
Count 3-2 to Kawasaki. And Sean Figgins is on deck. 1-1 game. We're in the top of the second. 3-2 count on Kawasaki with 2 outs. And the pitch. And he worked a walk. 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Figgins. Hey, hitting the road. Take the Yankees with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. And here is Figgins. Figgins signed a 5-year deal. That's through 2014, so he still has 2 more years left. This is the 3rd year of the 5-year deal. It makes $9 million a year, average of $9 million a year in the deal. Last year he made $9.5 million in 81 games, batted .188. And it's just hard to believe because he was an agitator on the Angels. You were afraid to see him come up. There were so many things he could do. He could play so many positions and play them well. And he signed that deal, went to Seattle, and it seems like he lost his skills.
That's a question mark there. How somebody could, go from there to there. I mean, there is a gradual. You talk about losing your skill. It's usually a gradual thing, and it goes to show you how good of a fit the Angels were to him, and Mike Scioscia, and the ability to run and slap the ball, and all of a sudden he's gone to Seattle, and for some reason it's just drawn a blank.
Did you see Kawasaki at first?
We used
that
to
was
call
the worst fake ever.
A false break, but look at this one.
What is that?
I can't hit oil slick out there. That's right.
Looked like when Fred Flintstone was starting his car. Now that was a more conventional deke.
He's going to try them all. He's got a whole pocket full of tricks over there.
They were laughing at that spinning the wheels deke. Big lead. Two and one. You know you have a big lead when both feet are past the cutout. Usually if you have 1 foot past the cutout, that's a nice lead, but he's got both feet. Down 3-1. Garcia looks a bit lethargic on the mound today. His stuff doesn't look real crisp. He walks the number 8 hitter, and now he's 3-1 on the number 9 hitter, a guy with a 181 batting average.
If you think about it, it's really hard to look crisp throwing 85, 87, and it's just, you've got to get by. That's what he does. He just gets by. And right now he's pitching himself into a 2-out jam where Seattle an opportunity to pick up a run with only 1 hit. Larry Rothschild on a day like this, you know what you got. You've got a guy out there that is going to have to pitch to the weakness of the other team. You're going to have to throw a lot of pitches to get outs. You can't miss, and that's why at bats like these are dangerous. And he actually led the game off with a solid single, so now you've put him in a position where he can throw some runs on the board.
Inside 1-0.
what's funny about Freddie? It's like he either has everything working where he can throw them for strikes, or it's like he doesn't have anything he can get back to. I mean, he'll lose his split finger, his slider, and his fastball location all at one time. And that's what's happened here. I mean, he started with a curveball, ball. Went to a changeup there, kind of took a little bit off a fastball, ball. And then you get to a point where you can't use your split finger, which is your best pitch, because you throw that out of the zone intentionally.
And also because his stuff doesn't seem as crisp as it has in the past, he's afraid to throw anything over the zone.
Yeah, I mean, if you make a mistake, I mean, there are times where, pitchers with good stuff get behind an account, especially like now, you'll challenge somebody. Well, he doesn't have the type of stuff where he can go out and challenge somebody. It just does not make sense for him. You saw that 2-0 pitch. He still ran a slider in off the plate.
He's going to get out of it. He gets Ackley to fly out to center on the 2-1 pitch. Granderson makes the play, and that will do it. The 2 walks do not hurt Garcia. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Ichiro Suzuki will lead off. Honda. Find your great ending at the summer clearance event now at your Honda dealer. And by Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Curtis Granderson to the phone. The bullpen phone. What's he ordering out there?
I'm trying to figure this out. Our phone's not ringing, is it?
Nope.
I'm calling up here.
Well, he's satisfied with whoever picked up on the other end. Here's Ichiro Suzuki with an 11-game hitting streak. Longest hitting streak for a Yankee first X number of games of his career. Don Slaught had a 12-game hitting streak. Former catcher. Nickname of Sluggo. Now, during that streak, Slaught batted .429. Ichiro's getting a hit a day. Now, Ichiro has also not struck out in his last 50 plate appearances. Now it's 51, but a ground ball a second. His longest streak, Paul, in his career was 55 plate appearances without a strikeout.
Some balls hard in this homestand. The problem is a lot of them have been to center field and the gaps and they've been run down. But his strength is what he just did there. He just happened to hit the ball right at somebody. Is to hit the ball hard on the ground and you use your legs.
Sometimes it's almost better if he hits the ball softly on the ground. especially to the left side. Here's Jason Nix getting a start against a right-hander. They give Eric Chavez the day off. Grounded foul. Souvenir action. No bite on that breaking ball.
He really slowed everything down here. This is the slowest pitch he's thrown all day. It's 69. Wow. A lot closer than it looked.
Almost hit the bill of his helmet. You ever get hit in the helmet?
Yeah, left-handers. Yeah, left-handers. Once in a while, you just totally lose the ball. You hang that curveball out, and you just lose sight of it. Don't know where to go.
Swing and a miss. Nix down on strikes. You ever have to leave a game?
No, it kind of ricocheted off. It wasn't a big thing, but obviously it's always you go to the plate. You've seen highlights and things. It happens. Kuma, if you look at the way he's pitching it, it's kind of what Freddie Garcia wants to do: is get to those 2-strike counts and use that split-figure fastball to get swinging strikes out of the zone.
Here's Chris Stewart. Pitch outside. Seattle starters have been strong of late. In their last 16 starts, 11-2 with a 1.91 ERA. And that's why they've started to win games, even with a somewhat impotent offense.
Michael, before I forget, in the visitors clubhouse, let's wish Lou Kakuza a happy birthday today.
Louis' birthday.
Big Louis' birthday. Louis does a lot here. And his brother Robbie also make these clubhouses run.
Line down the left field line. It's a base hit. Robinson cuts the ball off. Going for two is Stewart. He's going to make it.
Chris Stewart gets a ball that lays out over the middle of the plate. Quick enough to turn his hands down there, get it down the left field line. That did not look like a sure double. I think he forgot he was running. It looked like a sure double off the bat.
So back to the top of the lineup and Curtis Granderson.
Javon Robinson started with, well, he had no chance. That ball didn't even get to the wall.
The 1-0. 1-1.
You look for his consistency, Michael. And the EI behind the plate's been very consistent today.
Let's see if it's EI after 4 hours and another 8 innings. Hot shot and through Ackley and into right field. Chris Stewart coming home. Here's the throw. In there. Yankees lead 2-1. Pretty good throw by Thames. We'll see how they score that. Ackley should have made that play.
Ball hit hard. We talked about yesterday in day games. Sometimes infielders just don't pick up the ball quick enough. Ball gets right through the wickets. Never got the glove down. Thames got over here. He's got a strong arm, but you see, almost came to a standstill there. Plays on the, if the throws on the money, he's out. But that's where Robbie Thompson, especially with 2 outs, is you make the defense make that perfect throw. It was a good throw, but it wasn't perfect.
No RBI for Granderson. It scored an E4. Nice hook slide there by Chris Stewart.
I tell you one thing, he was extremely close to really hurting his ankle, and I saw that and almost grimaced that, you know, you catch a spike coming in, and I think that Chris Stewart wears those plastic molded spikes. If that's a metal spike at the bottom and you catch that sliding, so many times you see guys really hurt their ankle. You see this foot right here, you see it, it slides, and if that's a metal spike, you see that's the plastic mold. If that's a metal spike and that catches, won't be scoring too many runs for a while.
I might have misspoke. That's an E3 on Ackley. Ackley's playing first base today, so no RBI for Granderson, but the Yankees do get the lead 2-1. Jeter fouls it away.
It just looked like a ball that, you know, you're moving in a reaction because you hear the ball, you kind of see it, but you just don't pick it up. And never got his glove down. That to me tells you that you just did not even see the ball.
Ackley has played a great second base in this series, but moving over to first today could not make that play. Grounded and knocked down by Iwakuma. And the shortstop Kawasaki over to Ackley. I believe he'll score that 1-6-3. Yankees 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the third, 2-1 Yanks. Game. Mark Teixeira has started 14 double plays this season, the most for any major league first baseman. The old 3-6-3 or 3-6-1. And he's got that great arm, and that's why it's easier for him to start a double play than a lot of first basemen. There's a strike to Michael Saunders. He started 16 double plays all of last year.
You're on good pace then.
Yeah. Lincoln scoreboard 2-1 Yankees. You played behind 2 good first basemen here with the Yankees, Mattingly and Martinez.
No doubt about it. Mattingly, I expected. I mean, everybody talked about his defense, so when I came here, I was anxious to see. And Tino, just a pleasant surprise. He just a smart player. played people in different positions, knew guessing on pitches, much better than people give him credit for.
I think he's the finest defensive first baseman that never won a Gold Glove. And there was one year, it was a crime that he didn't win it. I believe that Palmeiro got it. And Palmeiro played most of his games at DH that year.
Yep.
If not a crime, Paul, at least a travesty. Swing and a miss. Saunders down on strikes.
Once in a while, you see a swing like this from a hitter, and you just think, you know, you're thinking too much. You're trying to cover too many things, and you know your mind just draws a blank, and the next thing you know, you're walking to the dugout. One thing, Michael, looking up at the flags, the winds have picked up. Balls might be flying here before this game's over.
One out toward left.
Was that in the Bigelow scouting team? Winds progressively getting stronger?
I did not see that, no.
No?
That's not what my radar told me.
Freddie tried to stay in on Montero last time up. He drove that ball into right center field. As with most big guys in the major leagues, you try to stay in on their hands, or at least show them there to open up that outside corner.
Montero coming into today a .359 hitter against lefties, but .209 against righties. He's played 54 games as the DH. Today is his 37th game as a catcher, and there was always a debate within the Yankee system, would he be able to be an everyday catcher? And they thought that this year he'd be more of a DH. And although they didn't want to trade him, they just felt it was a great trade to pick up a guy like Michael Pineda, who's been hurt the whole year. They did want to use their DH spot to rotate and give rest for some of their older players. And if you lock it into a young player. Ground ball to short. And you like to see Montero. He ran hard right down the line. And there's some players that they hit a simple ground ball, they'll just jog to first base. But Montero really hustled. And you know what? It's almost a shame that we have to point it out when somebody does run down there. That should be the norm and not the exception. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't do it like that. The guy who threw him out does it like that all the time and has since he came up, Derek Jeter. Pitch outside to Jason.
See, Freddie, even with 2 outs, you know, he's not going to give in. He just does not have that type of stuff. He's still kind of nibbling out there. 2-0, you're going to pitch backward and throw a change up here. Got batters screaming, pitchers screaming, everybody's
a lot of yelling.
A little irritated out there. The umpire gets on him, yeah.
He started the act today.
That's right.
Jason tossed the bat away, and that's not going to get him any Christmas cards from Angel Campos. He better swing if it's close this time.
Try to make peace before the next pitch. This ball traveling off the plate.
Also, Paul, it's not smart for a catcher to do that. He's going to want that call for his pitcher.
Well, it was close, Michael, and he was hacking.
Jay, so obviously it's a DH today, Montero catching, but umpires remember stuff like that. So he does work a walk.
Twice. Should be on second right now.
In his mind.
Walked twice.
Kyle Seager at the plate. Pitch is high. He ducks under it. The count 1-0. Freddie Garcia is a pitcher who has really reinvented himself. When he was with Seattle, he was not just a 92-93 guy. He threw really hard. Had that heavy sinker. He was a real dominant, overpowering pitcher, but over time he lost the velocity and has continued to battle.
You look back at the playoffs when we faced them in 2001 was the year that they won 100 and some games, and you know he was their #1 starter. He was the guy that you would check the box scores and see if you were going to miss or face. And you're right, Michael. Just a heavy sinker, mid-90s. Always had that long kind of stiff arm, and it just was kind of hard to pick up.
Fouled out of play. A lot of pitchers lose that velocity and lose the ability to pitch. They can't recreate, and I guess this might, maybe you've seen him at the tail end. Frank Tanano was like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from an overpowering pitcher to a junk ball, and he made the transition beautifully. The 2-1. Driven out to left center. Drifting back is Ichiro Suzuki. And he battled the sun and made the play. Not an easy play for Ichiro, playing his first couple of games as a regular in left field. That's a tough Sun field. And he fought it right into the glove as we go to the bottom of the third. That's right, like mocha, caramel mocha, and the new mocha almond Dunkin' Donuts is sure to have one that's perfect for you. And while you're there, try the new Oreo donuts. It's that Oreo cookie taste that you've been craving. So hurry into Dunkin' today. Price and participation may vary. Here's some of the iced coffee. Nice. Thank you to Dunkin' Donuts. It's that sort of day. We can use that.
I need a candle. I'll stick a candle on one of those and send it down to Luka Kuz in the dugout. Huh?
Let's do it. Lincoln scoreboard 2-1. Yankees lead Seattle. It'll be Cano, Teixeira, and Ibanez. That one is hammered to right field, a base hit. Cano is 2 for 2. He has a 5-game hitting streak.
Cano, I mean, when you always look forward to his highlights because they're just good swings. Everything's back. Extension through the ball. Nothing's pulling off. Everything you want to, a little guy to just starting to play the game to try to do.
Teixeira takes low, had an infield RBI single in the first. He hit it into the teeth of the shift, but the second baseman Seager was in short right field. By the time he threw it first, Teixeira, hustling down the line, had beaten it out. One and one. One and two.
The scouting report, we talked about his last start, 13 strikeouts. You just don't see him with that kind of stuff. That to be punching guys out. He's a sinker ball pitcher. Can get some strikeouts with a split finger. But 13, that seems a little bit crazy to see the way he goes about pitching, because he throws so many sinkers early in the count when you're trying to get outs early. Michael, you just think he's trying to lull you to sleep, huh?
I'm not thinking that. That's what he did his last start, and he did that with very little sleep. His dad is very ill in Japan, and he decided on Thursday to fly home just to see him, and then flew back to make that start and pitched very well. And that is a very long flight.
I mean, do you like to travel like where you have a 16-hour flight? Do you look? I mean, the destination has to be unbelievably exciting when you sit on a plane for that long. Huh?
For an 18-hour flight, if the destination was unicorn and rainbows, I would want to go.
That's my wife and I go over this all the time. She likes to travel. She likes to go. It's just sometimes it's not worth the flight to get there.
You know, when the Yankees played in Japan, I mean, it was a very long flight, and it was, I think it was over a decade ago, maybe about that. Susan Waltman still has jet lag from that.
Still has jet
lag?
lag?
Complains about it, yeah.
And you recovered quick?
You know what? I back then I was a good sleeper, so I could sleep through the jet lag, but not on the plane. Runner goes, pitches low. So Paul's prediction of a strong Teixeira day continues, and that series in Japan was in 2004, 8 years ago. That was a trip where Mike Messina never left his room except to go to the ballpark. He just brought peanut butter and jelly and just ate all of his food in the room.
Who'd you play then? Was it Oakland? Who'd you play over?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa.
Yeah. 2 games against Japanese teams and then 2 games against Tampa Bay. Here's Raul Ibanez. First and second, nobody out. Count 1-0. Montero will talk things over with Iwakuma. You know, we joke around that the game is moving slowly, but there is a residual effect for the fielders, Paul, that back on their heels, and I mean, quite frankly, they're bored.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you see guys who are just standing, waiting. I mean, there is a pace to a game where you're involved, and then you're anticipating the ball coming to you, and then all of a sudden, if you take people out of that pace, you just find yourself standing out there.
Fly ball right field. Thames will make the catch. Tagging is Cano. He just draws the throw. Good throw by Thames. 1 out. And if you're lulling your fielders to sleep, as you said, they're not going to be as good defensively. They're not going to be as sharp.
I mean, you could look back at my career. I can tell you guys that you love playing behind because they were fast-paced pitchers, and you could not wait to take the field.
Who are those guys for you?
David Wells was that way. Boom. Tom Browning was awesome. We always wanted him on a travel day. He was 2 hours and 15 minutes every time. Rocket was good. Andy Pettit got the ball, threw the ball. And then there were guys that, if they had tough days, El Duque, the game really slowed down. But you know what? When it slowed down, he found out a way to get out of jam. So it was almost worth it.
Here's Swisher. Count 1-0. And Freddie Garcia is trying to stay loose, too.
Maybe today would be a pretty easy day to stay loose, huh?
You would think. High pop-up. Seager makes the play for the second out.
Pitch that Iwakuma got away with. And just, Raul Ibanez missed a pitch. Swisher missed a pitch. You just got a feeling that before the game's over, a couple of these are going to go out in the seats. Ball right there with little movement. You see Nick Swisher's reaction like, no, I had a good one to hit there.
Here's Suzuki. Popped it up. So Iwakuma's going to work out of trouble. Saunders makes the play, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Let's go to the 4th inning. It's 2-1 Yankees. Thames leads off. York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Let's check out what the question is. Eric Wedge is one of 3 current Major League managers who were teammates with Joe Girardi. Who are the other 2? The tape in the Joe Girardi show yesterday, which you'll see after the postgame today, we spoke about, somebody sent in a question and said to Joe, when you're done managing, you want to be a broadcaster again? He said, absolutely. He really wants to be, although he's not close to being done managing. I said, well, would you want to work with O'Neill? He goes, absolutely I would. He goes, I know I'd have to bring him a pen, and he'd have great food.
That's all I'm good for around here, you know? A little food. I stole the Sharpie here today.
It's purple. It's purple. The 1-1. High Papa. Granderson. It almost seems, Paul, that they're just missing, and we're seeing a lot of high Papas. They're really trying to tee off on off-speed pitches. Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 2-1 Yankees lead.
It's on both sides, too. I mean, you saw a couple balls just missed last inning, and they beat him inside all series on pitches that he's going to have to figure either get away from the plate a little bit, maybe open up a little bit, but he's going to have to be able to reach that inside pitch, because that's where you can drive those balls out of the park.
Oh, what a play by Teixeira. He's made a couple of those in this series.
And you can tell. I mean, the infielders just are not picking up the ball. I mean, it's just a reaction, and it's just a stab. It's almost self-defense down there. Defense, you know, it's like the ball finds you even when you don't see it.
Chop to second. Cano is there. A nice easy 1-2-3 inning. No muss, no fuss for Freddie Garcia. We are going to go to the bottom of the 4th. Nick Stewart and Granderson coming up. To the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Eric Wedge is one of 3 current Major League Baseball managers who were teammates with Joe Girardi. Who were the other 2?
I'm not even throwing guesses out on this. You, Michael? You know this?
No.
Matheny and Swain.
Matheny's now with the Cards and Swain with the Cubs.
Only one non-catcher in there. Dale Swaim, he was an infielder, but I guess he did put on the equipment for like the third catcher.
Benjamin Moore scoreboard. Yankees lead 2-1. There's Jason Nix. Pitches high.
Nick's been swinging the bat well. 10 for his last 26. Making the most of his opportunities, but most of those have been against left-handed pitching. A weird start for him today against Iwakuma. If you're Joe Girardi, you think that Chavez, you want to give him a day off, but it's either today or possibly tomorrow, and I don't think Nix is going to want that start tomorrow against Verlander. So, you go with this one, hope that he has some good at-bats. Chavez can come back fresh tomorrow in Detroit.
And Chavez probably said, I could use a day with Verlander on the mound. Sometimes when a great pitcher's on the mound and you see a guy take that day off, they'll call it Randy Johnson-itis or something like that. Did you ever get Randy Johnson-itis?
We drew straws one day for Randy Johnson. Buck Showalter called us in the office, and there was like 3 lefties. And he said, one of you guys are going to have to play. And I remember Deion James drew the short straw that day. And he was over, but he did make it without any injuries. we literally drew straws out of Buck's hands.
Now let me ask you, when you had the long straw, I guess Mattingly was the other lefty, right?
No, it was another outfield. I'm trying to figure out what it was. Mattingly usually played against Randy Johnson because he had good numbers, but I think it was Randy Velarde or somebody was out that usually hit him well. So one of the lefties that usually didn't play was going to have to play, and Buck did the thing to do. So
when you draw the straw and it's long, are you pumping your fist like you?
You know what? I think Buck actually kind of hinted to me which one was long and one was short. It was my day for a day off anyway. It was a day, like a Sunday day game, and no, Deion kind of took it on the chin that day.
But not literally.
No.
Chris Stewart lines one into left field. He's going to dunk in for a base hit, so Stewart's 2 for 2. I've told this story before, Paul, about Mattingly against Johnson. As you said, he had pretty good numbers. Mattingly was telling me one time that the day before you guys were going to face the Mariners and Randy Johnson and the Kingo, he was up the whole night, just staring at the ceiling and go, okay, stay in. Don't turn away, stay in. He said the first pitch was at my head, and I'm lying on my back, staring at the ceiling of the Kingdom. He said, I didn't sleep for no reason now.
Now it's all over. The thing about Randy Johnson, as you get back to, is he was so tall, left-handed, that you would lose the ball. And if you can't track it, you can't get out of the way of it. So, once you made that final turn into the ball, you knew you were stuck. I mean, you would put everything in there. And early in his career, it's not like that he was intentionally, throwing up in. He was just flat out wild,
right. A lot of people think that Randy did not have a good couple of years with the Yankees. But if you look at the numbers he put up, they weren't bad. He didn't pitch that poorly. He just was not the dominant pitcher that he once was, but he was still a serviceable pitcher. Just compared against his former greatness.
Commercial king. I've seen him on several commercials.
A couple just for men's, and then I think there's a Pepsi one. Losing that one too. So CC.
Yeah.
Popped up, long run for Figgins. Runs out of room. He went tarp. And is frozen tarp-wise now.
Give me the ball. It worked for Dwayne Wise earlier in the year, right?
Yes, it did.
Come out of the stands with something in your glove, you never know. What you do as a hitter, you try to steer that thing foul. Just give me another shot. He's asking if she's okay. See, Michael, even when you're not having your best years, you can still be a nice guy, you know? Ask
I agree.
If the ladies are all right.
Yeah. It wasn't the ladies' fault he's hitting 181.
That's right. I always blamed it on the helmet. That's why that thing took such a beating.
Granderson battling.
I always wonder why Curtis Granderson's looking down at Robbie Thompson. What sign could you possibly have when you're 0-2? Huh? You put a hit and run on you, but still, no. You know you're 0-2. You're in a hole. It's time to take in, and it's just habit. Players are always taught to look down at third base.
One and two.
That hit sign.
One, two, outside.
You know, Chelsea from our booth took one of those beautiful Dunkin' Donuts with candles.
Right.
It's the best option I had. Sent it down to Lou in the clubhouse, and we just got a little text that he did receive it. So. Enjoy your donut, Lou, and happy birthday. Let's tell you one thing, Michael. On my birthday, I expect more than a donut, all right?
When's your birthday?
February. It's not going to work here.
February what?
25th.
Same month.
You're the second?
I'm the second.
Groundhog's Day?
That's right. Yeah. Perfect, right?
Good news or bad news? Something, huh?
Shadow or not. I'll say it for you, Paul. My head always casts a shadow.
I was just wondering how you got it out of the hole.
High fly ball. Deep right. Saunders back. He's on the track and he'll make the play for the second out. Here are the standings in the American League East. The Yankees are split the first two with the Mariners, but the Rays and the Orioles are split the first two, playing against each other. So the lead is still 6.5, 7 in the loss column. The Red Sox have lost 3 in a row to the Twins, a couple of heartbreakers, so they're under 510 back, and the Blue Jays 10.5 back.
The Yankees are very fortunate to go through this little stumble here recently, and nobody has made a run. Everybody's kind of just beating up on each other. Some of the other divisions have really gotten close because of winning streaks and things like that. And you know, the Yankees will go through another little winning streak too, so they're in good shape.
Foul back almost got Cano in the on deck circle. right in on the hands. Count 0-2. Yankees lead 2-1, and they're trying to break a very odd streak. They've lost 7 straight one-run games.
You know, this social media is so good, Michael. I just got a text too, and it brought back the memories. It was Louis Polonia was the other lefty that was in the straw drawing game. So thanks, Rich.
So it's sad, though, that Deion James had no idea it was set up.
Well, you know what? The more you look at it, and we're talking about the drawing straws for Randy Johnson, and I think Buck basically said, you know, I don't have really good faith in any of you guys going out and have a bad or big game, but somebody's going to have to play the outfield, and we're pretty much out of right-handed hitters, so let's see who it's going to be. Sometimes you have to do that as a manager, just kind of lighten things up.
Runner goes. And the ball gets away from Montero. And a stolen base for Chris Stewart.
It's a good thing with 2 outs. Take a chance. You got a great pitch to run on, obviously. But again, now you have an opportunity with 2 outs to score on a single. Montero's just going to run after that thing till it stops and then pick it up.
Base hit over the leaping try of Kawasaki into left field. Scoring is Stewart, an RBI single for Jeter, and the Yankees are up 3-1.
Good piece of hitting, but you put Derek Jeter in a position where a single will score a run, and that's where he's much more comfortable. Kawasaki gives it all he has. I think he got a late jump on that. Like the ball kind of beat him to the spot. The way you look at it, though, it's another single and another run driven in by Derek Jeter.
Here's Cano, who's 2 for 2. Strike. The 0-1. Tied him up, count 0-2.
Little short slider there that got in off the plate. Best thing you can do here is miss it. Don't put it in play. Don't get jammed and hit a little 16 hopper to the second baseman. See that back foot kind of pull in to try to get some room to get to it, but that ball just came in on him.
Hammered foul.
Uh-oh.
Jeter was going.
Oh boy, had a good opportunity to make a big play down there, Michael, and he booted it. Pick it. Ah, bad ricochet. Didn't get the glove down. You can see Robbie. I mean, as a hitter, you can only stand in the box so long before you need to get out. And you kind of get settled in, and you just get flat, and you need to get out. And pitcher works this slow. You got to break his timing too.
And that's one of the methods to Josh Beckett's madness. He said he doesn't want to pitch quickly because the longer a batter has to stay in the box, the tighter he gets. So he's not just standing there because he's afraid to throw the ball. He's trying to throw the guy's timing off. At the same time, you have to be, mindful of throwing your defense off.
I tell you, guys that pitch ahead and guys that were sometimes you had to put your hand up to stop them that were aggressive at coming at it. Those guys worried me more than having to wait, because you just felt like they had confidence they were going to get you out. As soon as they got the ball back, they were out on the mound ready to throw another pitch.
The 0-2. Fouled away. Shaded up the middle is Kawasaki. Figgins way off the line at third. The 0-2. Missed inside 1 and 2. Yankees 3 runs on 6 hits. Seattle 1 run on 3 hits with 1 error.
Notice how we've gone to the split screen on some of these, Michael. It's because one cameraman's like tired of being by himself. So we'll just go to the split screen.
Swing and miss. And Cano down on strikes. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Cano thought it was a foul ball. Talking to Campos about it. We know it's going to the top of the 5th. Yankees are leading 3-1. Stay here. Should be a big 4-game set, Bob. And take a look at the starters for the 4-game set. Ivan Nova will take on Verlander tomorrow. Phil Hughes against Rick Porcello Tuesday. Sabathia against Anibal Sanchez, who Girardi used to manage with the Marlins. Sanchez newly acquired from Miami. He'll start Wednesday. And then Kuroda against Doug Fister. And the only starter the Yankees miss will be Max Scherzer.
And right there, that's the key guy, Doug Fister, that's really going to have to turn things around for Detroit to make that run. He was so good for them last year.
Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees 3-1 over Seattle. Tapped right back to Garcia. And there's one away here in the 5th. Let's check back in with Bob Lorenz back in the studio. Robert? Thanks, Bob. That was a big weekend set, and the Pirates lost the first 2 games, so it's a 5.5-game lead for the Reds over the Pirates. So you know that the Pirates would love to get this one to take at least 1 of the 3. But that's a surprising National League Central. Cincinnati, the way it has played so well without Joey Votto. In fact, it's done very well without Votto. And then Pittsburgh, which has been a continual loser over the last decade and a half. St. Louis, the defending champion, so it's tight.
See, Brandon Phillips was out of the lineup too, so you were winning. You were going through a winning streak without your best 2 hitters, Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips. Phillips back in the lineup.
Astros have just been playing terrible baseball. A stretch, I think, where they lost 23 of 26 games. I might be off by a game or 2, which is just an amazing run of futility. But they've gotten rid of some big salaries, and Carlos Lee and Wandy Rodriguez. So they do not have that much committed to players next year when they move to the American League.
Where'd Lee go?
Lee went to the Marlins.
Oh, okay. It's funny how that's going to play out. I mean, you talk about bringing rivalries in Texas, the Rangers being so good. And all of a sudden, you're going to be a rival with somebody. Obviously, they're in the same state, but you know you're showing up with a team that in the middle of a rebuilding process.
It'll make it that both leagues have 15 teams, and each division will have 5 teams. Grounded and grabbed there by Cano, and they get Ackley for the second out. All right. Time for the Yes Network Games questions. It's from Dan Checkley, at Dan Checkley. The Yankees beat the Mariners in 5 games in the 2001 ALCS. Who was the losing pitcher of record in Game 5?
Don't smile at me.
I don't know this one.
Really?
I don't know it. Do you?
I do know this. Yeah, I do know this. I think.
We'll find out in the bottom of the inning.
I think I hit a home run off this guy too, Michael. If that helps you. You gave me a clue. I'm giving you a clue. So you know it's not Randy Johnson.
Oh, yeah, we dug out the numbers on Randy.
Don't even bring those up.
Mattingly was a 348 hitter against Johnson.
I was a 0 hitter. That's all right.
You were 0 for 5, so Buck really did like you.
Yeah. So I would have been 0 for 9 if I'd have played that
game. Driven down the right field line. It is a foul ball.
You know what? I'm not even writing my answer because you're going to look.
I don't know this one.
Well, of course Meredith knows it. She probably wrote the question.
That one is driven out to right center field. That is going to be off the wall. Playing it out there is Granderson. Fires the ball in. It is a double for Michael Saunders.
See, if you miss it off, you're Freddie Garcia. That's supposed to be a fastball in. It tails out over the middle of the plate. Good news is it hit off the wall and didn't go over, especially with 2 outs. You still have a big opportunity to get out of this inning. You look up and down this lineup and you just, nobody's numbers really make you look twice. But over the last 10 games where they've gone on this this little streak, that's her 28th extra base hit in the last 10 games. And before, you know, the first half of the season, nothing. I mean, you just look at some of these numbers. I mean, Kyle Seager leading in the lineup today with 11 home runs. Montero, he's got 10, 40 RBIs. So you just, you know, you see the discrepancy between some of the numbers, the power numbers, the RBI numbers of other teams and the Seattle Mariners. And I'll tell you what, their starting pitching will stack up to anybody.
Punch the other way, and it's going to land in there for a base hit. Saunders will score right off the end of the bat from Montero, and now the Yankees lead is 3-2.
Again, you don't have to hit him hard all the time. This is a curveball. He waits and waits and actually gets out, still out front a little bit, but right off the end of the bat. Montero's done a good job in this series of keeping the ball in the right field, in the right center field.
Count 1-0 to Jaso.
Michael, it's amazing what this game will do to you. I was just looking at the stat over there. The Yankees are the oldest team. Average 31, almost 32 years. And, you know, 32 years old seems pretty young right now. Though.
To me, it does.
Yeah. Makes you feel how far away you are from this game.
Count 2-1. So Boone Logan warming up. Check swing, he did not go. That one gets away from Stewart. It's a walk nonetheless as Montero advances to second. So all of this with 2 outs. So Larry Rothschild will talk things over with Freddie Garcia. Freddie Garcia has 149 career wins. He's had a very nice major league career, and as we said, a different one than when he first came up. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Rothschild is done with his conference. Mariners have runners on first and second.
guy we talked earlier in the game that has been so good with knocking in two-run RBI, two-out RBIs with 37, leading Major League Baseball. Hit last time up, and Montero was thrown out at the plate. It's like a mindset you get into in these situations. You get so comfortable, you just feel like, you know, this is one of those years where this is the time that I get my hits. Men in scoring position, 2 outs.
Grounded to first. Teixeira is there. Beats Seager to the bag, and the Yankees hold on to the lead. But the Mariners 1 run on 2 hits, 2 left. It's an official game halfway through, 3-2. Who's the losing pitcher of record in Game 5?
I'm not 100% sure, but I got a shot at it.
Well, I changed what I had originally. I hope I'm right. I have Aaron Seeley.
You cheated off my paper.
I did not.
But you have Meredith. Aaron Seeley.
First of all, you don't get credit. You don't get credit because you spelled Seeley wrong.
Well, oh, that's right. There is no Y. Sorry. What is this, a spelling bee?
No,
you know what, though?
Well.
That was my last home run in the major leagues, Michael.
Really?
Yeah, I have a picture at home. That's why I got that question right. My last home run in the major leagues, 2001 off Aaron Seeley.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good way to remember it. So the Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Now, let me just tell you one thing about the Yes Network games as we'll show you the standings. The thing that's bothersome to me, and they still have that same ugly picture, Paul. So my point is, it's just ridiculous, okay? It's just ridiculous. But the whole Meredith situation, 6 for 6, it reeks of the badminton scandal in the Olympics.
What are you talking about?
She wasn't here for 2 days. All of a sudden, she got it right.
Throw up a 6 for 6?
Oh, he won't give me any credit.
But you know what? If I didn't show up for a game, I couldn't go 2 for 2. So your answers don't. Wally pipped you yesterday. You're done.
You have to watch the game and listen to the questions, text in your question in an appropriate amount of time, and if you get it in time, we'll give you credit.
But I'm calling foul. I'm calling foul. This is like the boxing scandal in the Olympics.
Now you've gone from badminton to boxing. You better just hold off where you are.
I'm telling you what, this is why these big events can't work, because there's too much espionage. It's just awful.
See, if you were sitting on top of the leaderboard by yourself, there would be no issue. There would be no scandal.
Because that would be my rightful place, Meredith.
I don't know about that.
Well, let me tell you what. Here's this should be taken away from your point total. If, in fact, you are off, not working, you should not be watching the game.
Why not?
Because then you should be here working.
Well, it's part of my job to know what's going on when I leave.
Excellent point.
I mean, I'm supposed to be paying attention. You don't want to show up clueless.
You know what? Do I get an extra point because I actually hit a home run off the guy?
Yes.
No,
do you get extra points?
You spelled his name
But
wrong,
you would have
though.
gotten an extra point, but you put a Y at the end. Why? We don't know.
Can you name who else hit a home run off of him in that game?
Tino.
There's one more.
What, Tino did too? Man, you do have some stats. You guys are smart.
You actually hit 2 off Sealy in that series.
In the series. Game 1 and Game 5.
You owned him.
Yeah, that was nice.
Meredith, we will see you on the post-game show. No cheating.
And looking forward to it.
All right.
Congratulations, Meredith. Foul or not, you won, all right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
She didn't win. We're tied.
You know what? We are not tied. I had 5. She had 6.
And I have 6.
Won.
But I have 6.
Well, whatever. Somebody's going home a loser today, and it's me. Those are high numbers for this game, though.
That one is driven out to right center field. That ball is gone. Long home run. See ya. Raul Ibanez. And the Yankees now lead 4-2. That made it into the bleachers behind the Yankee bullpen. Wow.
Last time up, he had a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he just missed it. And he didn't miss this one, Michael. You don't see too many of them over the bullpen. Same pitch, fastball right there. Oh! Tough break. So you get that one shot for that home run ball, Michael. Right off the tip of your finger.
Now, one thing, though, in fairness to that poor fan, Paul, you're sitting behind the AT NYA sign out there. You're not expecting a ball.
You know, if it would have just fell in that pretty grass in the front, it probably would have stayed.
Swing and a miss. Count 0-1.
Got some airtime out of it, though. That makes it all worth it, right?
Yep. Ground ball to second. Seager. Second out. So for Ibanez, his 15th home run and 47th run batted in. And for that guy, that was in slow motion, too, before we slowed it down.
I tell you one thing, it's not as easy as it looks to catch a ball barehand, especially when the ball has traveled, what, 440 feet before it gets to you, and you got to judge it and catch it with no glove.
I will not criticize that young man. That was a hard play. They threw the ball back into the stands, and those kids got it. How's this for production, Paul? That was Ibanez's 67th hit this year. 47 ribbies.
Yeah, that's quite a ratio for hits and RBI. He's had about a month span where even his pinch hits, just good at bats. He's putting himself in a good position to hit every time up. Just missed one before we talked about and just crushed that. Hasn't got his hit today, right?
Nope. Josh Kinney is up. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ichiro's grounded to second and fly to center.
Why Ichiro gets caught. Looks like he's trying to hit that ball to the left side and run, and it's a ball in on his hands. Still was able to foul it off.
It's in the clubhouse today before the game. You should see what Suzuki goes through to stretch. He has this round item that he'll roll up and back on his back, and then on his sides, and then on his legs and his
foam roller thing.
Yeah,
it really loosens up your muscles.
Does it right in the middle of the clubhouse. People walking around him, over him. But it's a long process. 2-2. Oh! He could not get out of the way, so Ichiro gets plunked.
You know, as a hitter, sometimes you can hear the sound before you start screaming before it hits you, because you know what's going to happen. The weight's on your front foot, so you can't get it out of the way.
Was that Ichiro?
Yeah, it sounded like a Bruce Lee move.
Wow. Count 1-0.
Iwakuma walking around after that. I'm just wondering, I mean, Ichiro might have been an idol of his, you know, and it might have affected him more than it affected Ichiro.
This will be the 100th pitch of the game. Iwakuma. Grounded to third. Fair ball. Figgins backhands. Fires. And a nice switch of the feet by Ackley. And that will do it. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left. The 1 hit off the bat of Raul Ibanez. A long home run. That was bobbled and lost, but still put on the scoreboard. 4-2 Yanks. Players left the greatest legacy during his time with the Mariners. You've been texting us at 42951, and here's how you voted. 58% agree that it was Ken Griffey Jr. Then Ichiro with 24%. Alex only 8%. Edgar Martinez 6%. Randy Johnson 4%. Joe Girardi gets 5 innings out of Freddie Garcia, and then he makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And Boone Logan will come on. So now the bullpen will try to get the final 12 outs and get Garcia's 150th career win. Logan, his 52nd game. He's pitched a lot. 47 strikeouts in 35 1/3 innings. Eric Thames will lead off against the lefty.
numbers on Griffey in Seattle, Michael. 13 years, 1,843 hits, 417 home runs, 292 and 1 MVP in 1997. And he added to it when he went to Cincinnati.
22 big league seasons, 13-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove winner. Paul mentioned the MVP, 630 home runs, 417 with the Mariners. Ground ball to first. And Teixeira beats Thames to the bag. One away.
Well, Thames runs well. With his size, it looks like an ex-football player going down the line. See, he hustles it out too.
Here's Trayvon Robinson. Hammered foul. We're in the 6th inning. Yankees lead Seattle 4-2. This is the rubber game of the 3-game set. And the Yankees' most recent road trip, Yankees actually took 2 out of 3 in Seattle. Cody Epley up. Count 0-2.
His homestand, Boone Logan's really had a good breaking ball. He's got away from it one time early with Baltimore when Mitch Cavus hit up. Who's the right fielder?
For who?
Markakis. There you go. Hit that big double. But other than that, his breaking ball has had a lot of strikeouts, both against lefties and righties. And McCabe telling that story about A-Rod yesterday.
That's right. Line drive right at Jeter. 2 away. Come out to the stadium Monday, August 13th for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Rangers. The first 18,000 guests 21 and older receive a New York Yankees picture frame courtesy of Avis. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. There's Kawasaki. And strike, 1-1. Now Oliver Perez has joined Josh Kinney. Count 3-1 to Kawasaki. Right back to Logan, who's done a good job 2 games in a row. Works a 1-2-3 inning as the Mariners go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stewart, Granderson, and Jeter coming up. Customers, you won't have to miss a game again now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankees games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get the remaining season of live Yankees games on the go for just $29.99. If you're an Optimum Online customer who watches Yes on IOTV, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Boone Logan works a 1-2-3-6th inning. Looks like he's just run a marathon. Well, thank you. It's not how you spell hooray, but I love the sentiment.
I was just trying to make it look like it rhymed with K.
Well, the Ray part of it was spelled right. Here's Josh Kinney. And he faces Chris Stewart. Chris is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. He's done a very good job for the Yankees. They got him right at the end of spring training. He's given them offense. He does a good job behind the plate. A good number 2 catcher. Hitting .262.
In the Seattle bullpen, and we saw the other night they've got some power arms out of there. Remember the major league debut of Cap, first pitch 100. The guys you see from now on, power guys. Good slider there.
Kinney averages 14.54 strikeouts per 9 innings. And he walks Stewart, continuing a perfect day. Here's Curtis Granderson, 2 walks and a fly ball to center.
See, Kenny can have the ball move either way. His sinker really tails away. Slider's got good movement on that, so he's got ways to get into both sides of the plate. Right there, he left the fastball. Curtis Granderson quick enough to get to it.
So base hit for Granderson. First and second, nobody out. Jeter coming to the plate. Remember, get another chance to catch this game in every Yes Network game another time around. If you missed any of the big hits and great plays, just watch the encore later every night or again the next morning at 9. Brought to you by Verizon Fios. Eric Wedge trying to figure this one out. Jeter is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Does he bunt? Showed bunt, takes the strike.
That ball was up. See Derek argue very often at the plate either, especially early in the count.
Bunted, and it rolls foul.
It's a tough at bat here. Now you're giving away 2 strikes trying to get a bunt down, and you have not seen his slider yet. Ball just trickles foul. First bounce killed him when it got out of the grass. Wasn't going to stay fair.
Checking out the rest of the Yankee season on the schedule. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got Jeter.
Yes, a slider. And again, when you get as a hitter to a 2-strike count and you have not seen that good breaking ball yet, really tough. Pitch. Eric Wedge thinks he'll go back to the bullpen, bring in another one of those power arms.
It's going to be Ali Perez against Robinson Cano. Perez throws 95. Let's see if Cano can redirect it. You know, a Toyota spelled backwards is still a Toyota.
Why are you looking at me? You want
I'm seeing if you can figure that out. Here's Oliver Perez. He's been reinvented as a relief pitcher. Lefty out of the bullpen, throws hard. Certainly had his failures as a starting pitcher, but the numbers there are pretty good.
Last time he came in against the Yankees in this series, he was throwing mid-90s. You just wonder with his delivery, left-handed pitcher, mid-90s, you kind of scratch your head and just wonder how he gets hit.
Cano 5 hits and 11 at bats against Perez lifetime. Popped up. Long run for Robinson. And he gets there to make the play.
Perez threw a lot of fastballs last time out in. It looks like he got a hanging slider, but he got it up enough that Robbie popped it up.
Now explain this for me, Paul, because I go to you with these information questions. Why are lefties hitting 393 against Perez?
That's, I mean, when I was talking about it, I'm trying to scratch my head and figure the same thing out, because he's got a kind of a closed delivery, throws hard. I think he goes to his fastball too much. I don't think that his breaking ball is good enough. You see that there's his breaking ball right there. It's not the kind of breaking ball that locks up a lefty, and I think that he just relies too much on his fastball, and it must be too straight for lefties.
Righties hit 200 against him, and the righties at the plate right now, Mark Teixeira. Off the glove of Montero, and the runners move out. That's a big pass ball. I assume it's going to be a pass ball.
Again, fastball up, Montero just doesn't adjust to it quick enough. You see him drop instead of getting up.
They did score a pass ball. Now they will intentionally walk Teixeira and deal with Ibanez with the bases loaded.
You know, this is not good, Michael, because I made a call, and you can't pitch around my guy when I make a call, you know. This is going to be a big at bat for him. It's going to be a double and 2 RBIs.
Well, your call now is 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Not bad.
But I mean, this was going to break wide open right here.
Well, there's still more at bats to come. Plenty of baseball left. So now what Eric Wedge is going to do is pitch against the stats. He's going to bring up a lefty, face the lefty, and here's what he did in the 5th inning. He sent it to DKNYville.
Right off the top of it.
So he's already retired Cano, the lefty. Now he's going to try to do the same against Ibanez. Check swing. Ibanez has faced Perez 7 times and has 3 hits lifetime. Chris Stewart's at 3rd. Anderson is at 2nd. Teixeira at 1st.
See Perez go back to the breaking ball there in a fastball count, and I think that he's going to have a little more success if he pitches lefties that way and try to use that fastball in on their hands.
Count 1 and 2. Ibanez has struggled a bit with the bases loaded this year. He's 1 for 13, but the 1 was a grand slam. And the pitch. 2 and 2. Bottom of the 6th inning, Sean Kelly warming up. Keeps shaking off Montero, so obviously calling his own game out there. The 2-2 goes at the fastball, but a little bit low. Now everybody moves. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. How close was it?
And this ball is down just a little bit low at a lot of the plate.
Swing to foul that off.
That's an emergency hack there. That's a 3-2. I mean, that shows some guts right there with a 3-2 curveball.
This was the one time Ibanez has gotten a hit with the bases loaded. Was a grand slam, and it was against Toronto. Now Ibanez doesn't play that much against lefties. Has just 1 ribby and 38 at bats against lefty pitching. Line drive, base hit. He now has 3 ribbies against lefty pitching. A 2-run single and the Yankees lead 6-2. Big hit for Ibanez. Let's look how they attacked Ibanez. We'll take a look at the Mazda pitch by pitch, Paul.
Well, Perez, again, you talk Ibanez doesn't see a lot. You see a slider. He goes all sliders early in the count. But the good thing is Ibanez fights back into the count. Tough pitch there. And he got his fastball, drives it to left center field. And again, Perez, when he gets in a fastball count, his fastball is hard, but it's straight. Ibanez does a good job.
And he was disappointed in that play could not be made. Kawasaki gave it a good leap, but couldn't get high enough. So 6-2 Yankees. As Eric Wedge intensely walked to Scherer and it backfired. And here is Swisher. 1-0.
Jumping on that plate and head to Detroit, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's new in Detroit? I've been there.
I don't know.
You take your peanut butter and jelly, don't go out of the room like you've seen him.
Count 2-1. Count 3-1. One pitch away from reloading the bases for Ichiro.
Again, you see Perez get into a fastball count and a hitter's count and then on base.
Drilled deep to left field. Going back, Robinson, and he's on the track to make the play for the final out of the 6th. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2. We go to the 7th. 6-2 Yankees. Runs batted in. Ibanez 2 for 4, solo home run into the bleachers behind the Yankee bullpen in right center, and 3 ribbies. And Stewart 2 for 2, a double, 3 runs scored and a stolen base.
I'm already throwing my player of the game in there, Michael.
Early, but bold.
Yeah.
Cadillac scoreboard 6-2. Sean Figgins will lead off against Boone Logan on relief of Freddie Garcia. Grabbed there by Nix. 1 pitch, 1 out. Nice play by Jason Nix.
This Figgins thing to me, I mean, how do you explain it, Michael? I mean, just day after day, go up. If you hit it hard, it's at somebody, and then you don't hit it hard, you're a 180-some hitter. And there's a guy that was a big part of a good team with the Angels.
Not even an easy play in Yesmo.
Figgins 135, 13 for his last 96 over the last 40 games.
Ackley takes low.
Just going through your day yesterday. We had a good game. Then you had a little television show. You had a little Broadway show. You did it all last night.
I did do a lot last night. Yeah.
Crammed it all.
And a dinner too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get takeout on the way or something?
No, we had time because the game was so fast. So we dropped by Del Frisco's. A nice little steak dinner.
Look at you.
And then went to see Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth.
Some days are just better than others, aren't they, Mike?
That was a good day.
Got to get your money's worth, right?
That's right.
Tell
Half the Yankee team went to the Tyson show on Broadway on Thursday.
Oh, was that right?
Cece, Derek, Andrew Jones, Anderson. Yeah.
Jody, I mean, was that her choice or was that your choice?
That was my choice. But she was very nice about going. Fouled away by Ackley. Earl the Pearl Monroe was there yesterday.
Earl the Pearl, now he could score the ball.
Yes, he could. Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats was there.
Swiss Beats.
That's right, her husband. John Amos was there. Dad from Good Times.
Yeah, I remember him.
And Mike Tyson was there.
Had a good seat, too, didn't he?
Right on stage. 6-2 Yankees lead. We're in the top of the 7th inning. 3-2 on Ackley. Logan Deals. Again fouled away.
Well, he was a local guy, right? Where's he from? Around here somewhere, wasn't he?
Who?
Tyson. Wasn't he from
Brooklyn.
Oh, he's a Brooklyn guy.
Finally puts one in play. Suzuki. That's going to be his toughest chore out there, Paul, is dealing with that sun.
Yeah, and as the year gets on, it gets a little tougher. And, you know, left field always the toughest in the old stadium and seems to be in the new stadium also. Fighting that sun the whole way.
Well, you bring in a lefty against this team at the right time, you can really match up. They've got a lot of lefty bats.
A lot of lefties that if you make good pitches on them that you can really mow them down. And we saw that with CC Sabathia when he had that good slider. Game 1.
That's a jump to get out of the way. Fly ball right field. 6 up, 6 down for Boone Logan. He did a good job in the 6th and the 7th. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Get it, get that baseball. Nick Swisher tossed it in there. Yankees lead 6-2. But we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Good matchup. Ivan Nova against Justin Verlander. Our coverage from Detroit begins at 6:30. First pitch right around 7:07. And Perez deals a strike to Ichiro. This could be Ichiro's last chance to extend his hitting streak. He's at 11 straight. He's 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch last time up. Popped up. Shallow center. Saunders fighting the sun, and the ball finds grass. We'll see how they scored as Ichiro is on second.
It's got to be a hit. That ball's lost in the sun. He had no shot. Hitting streaks every once in a while. You need a break, huh, Michael?
That would be a break. Mother Nature helped out. Hit his foot.
A helpless feeling. You know, you just wonder how in the world you can't get away from it. But if that ball does not come out of that sun, there's nothing you can do.
And they do give him a hit. So that's a 12-game hitting streak for Ichiro, who was running hard out of the box all the way.
Sure double off the bat, Michael.
I apologize. It wasn't running hard right away, but when he saw that there was trouble, he got there to second in plenty of time. As Eric Wedge goes to the mound and will bring in a pitcher. And now Ichiro has tied Don Slaught for a 12-game hitting streak to start off a Yankee career. And those are the longest in Yankee history. Can Ichiro go to 13? He'll have to do it tomorrow against Verlander. Stick around. Game's still going on here. All right, we see Kelly coming in. Sean Kelly will face Jason Nix with a runner on second and nobody out. Kelly, the fourth pitcher used by Eric Wedge. Those are the numbers. More than a strikeout per inning. As Paul said, they've got some big arms out there. Throw hard. Cadillac scoreboard 6-2.
Again, that high strike, and you know, as a hitter, you pick up that ball high, and you know it's a sacrifice bunt, so you're only looking to bunt a strike. Pull it back, you hear that strike.
Bunted, and it's a good bunt for Nix as Suzuki moves to third. And You score that a sack bunt 1-4.
Ichiro, you don't have to make it perfect because of his speed. This ball's bunted back to the pitcher. Took enough off of it. Ichiro can coast in.
Let's see if Chris Stewart can continue his perfect day. 3-run score, 2 for 2 with a walk.
He's come a long way offensively, Mike.
Yeah.
You're moving runners over for him now. You put him in the good scoring position.
Down 6-2. Eric Wedge brings the infield in with Ichiro at third.
And I would think that those are the type of things that Joe Girardi would like to do with the baseball team. But, you know, with the type of players he has, there's not a lot of guys he can do that with. Nick's being one that he can, you know, give him the sacrifice bunt and set up another little tack-on run here with just a fly ball.
That has popped up. Kawasaki, you can hear him up here, calls everybody off for the second out. So they finally retire Stewart, and that's going to bring up Granderson. Now with 2 outs, the infield moves back. And Kelly deals low. Shift is on for Granderson with 3 infielders on the right side. Baltimore and Tampa Bay scoreless, top of the 8th inning in St. Pete. Fly ball left field. Robinson is there, and he'll make the play for the final out of the 7th. So Ichiro extends his hitting streak to 12 straight thanks to the sun. 6-2 Yankees lead as we go to the 8th. Music and computer world, and by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Well, the Yankee bullpen on in relief for Freddie Garcia will now move to its second pitcher. The Hyundai scoreboard has the Yankees up 6-2. Boone Logan pitched the perfect 6th and 7th, 6 up, 6 down. And now David Robertson will come in. And the numbers on Robertson, this is his 37th game, another good year with the ERA, 25 hits in 34 and 2/3 innings, and 53 strikeouts in 34 and 2/3.
Not much you can say about how good he. I mean, he just does his job. Comes in, pumps in strikes. Not a guy you need to worry about against lefties. He's been very successful against lefties and righties.
Montero, Jaso, and Seager here in the 8th. Pitch inside. Fouled away. Last time up, Montero with a bloop single right off the end of the bat picks up an RBI. Got to be a killer for a pitcher. He made a good pitch. And still, the hitter picks up a hit and an RBI. Ground ball to third.
Seattle looks like they're starting to fall back into that mode of not being able to score runs. I mean, they got fortunate yesterday that King Felix made 1 run stand up today. They've only thrown a couple on the board. I mean, this is what they fought before they went through this little streak where they were scoring a lot of runs and put together a 7-game winning streak. This is what they fought all year. This inconsistency as far as putting up runs, and one was enough for that guy right there. Ever seen a shutout as easy as he made it look yesterday?
Boy, Paul, you read the quotes from people, and I spoke to Joe Girardi after the game. Eric Wett says it's the best game he's ever seen pitched. And it wasn't even dominant in that sense, but it just seemed easy, if that makes sense.
Exactly, and that's the way I'm trying to figure it out, too. It just like, you know, you understand if a guy's free and easy and it's a 3rd inning, it's 1-0, but 8th inning, 9th inning, when you know that any pitch could change the game, I mean, he was just free and easy. He had all 3, 4 of his pitches working.
Punched out left side, grabbed there by Nix. 2 outs. Even Joe Girardi said, you know, you want to win all the time, but sometimes the pitcher just does an unbelievable job. And the Yankees didn't really have a chance against him yesterday. And it wasn't all fastballs.
Yeah, that's the pitch right there. That's a slider and that changeup that looks like a split finger. It just goes sideways. Just got a note here. The Yankees have been shut out 10 times in the new Yankee Stadium. 3 times by that guy right there.
Wow.
Felix Hernandez. The only question, Michael, is he still going to be what he is now when Seattle's in a position to win again?
He just doesn't want to go anywhere either. They had stories about that. Bill Madden wrote a story in the Daily News about it. He wants to be part of it happening with Seattle rather than having it, you know, kind of set up on a platter for him somewhere else. One count on Seager against Robertson. 6-2 Yankees lead. Missed again, 3-1.
See, that's 94, and it's got that cutting action on it. And that ball right there, there's nothing you can do with. The best thing to do is take it. You know, it's called a ball.
Count 3-2.
It's amazing how you take Robertson and you take Soriano, and how much more comfortable Robertson looks in the 8th inning and how much more comfortable Soriano looks in the 9th inning.
Three-2. Low as Seager walks. Along with Paul O'Neill and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on Yes. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. The Yankees lead the Mariners 6-2 in the rubber game of a 3-game set. First game they won 6-3 behind Sabathia's complete game. The Mariners won 1-0 yesterday behind Felix Hernandez's complete game. No complete game today, but the Yankees looking for a win. Here's Eric Thames. Strike.
With little I've seen of Thames this series, it just looks like anything right in here. This inner half of the plate has given him trouble. He runs well, plays the outfield well, has a good arm, but he hasn't been able to get to that ball inside. It's something that he and Chris Chambliss trying to work on, trying to be a little bit quicker. You see some of those drills that Robbie did with Kevin Long, just to be quick inside to be able to get to that ball. You only have to get to it every once in a while to keep pitchers out of there.
Cleveland and Detroit tied at 5, bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees heading to Detroit after the game. Boston 4-1 over Minnesota, top of the 7th inning. And the Orioles raised scoreless in the 9th. Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty will have all of those scores and highlights after the game.
Buck's got a few things going through his mind in that game, tied in the 9th.
He loves those sorts of games. He can wheel and deal. Joe Madden feels the same way. Here's the 1-2. "17 pitches, 10 strikes for David Robertson. One-two pitch. Foul ball. That ball boy's getting a lot of work.
A couple plays down there today.
Robertson faced 4 batters yesterday. He struck out 3, retired them all. Looking for a strikeout here. Take any kind of out. Fly ball, center field. Granderson is there, and that will do it. In the 8th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Yankees lead by 4. Online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Freddie Garcia, number 2, Raul Ibanez, number 3, Chris Stewart, and number 4, Boone Logan. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply.
Boone Logan snuck in there right out of the bullpen, huh?
Nice job by him. Kelly's still in there, faces Jeter, who swings and misses. Been a hot and humid day here in New York City. There was some rain early. They almost put the tarp on. They decided not to. Rain stopped, and we've been flying since. Hyundai scoreboard 6-2 Yanks as Jeter fouls it away.
One of those days you see Derek Jeter that you seem that every time you look up, you're 0-2. And he's been in a lot of counts today where he's been behind in the count. Like you're always just kind of digging out of a hole, kind of hitting defensively.
Count 1 and 2. That one bounces away from Montero. Chopped over the middle, going to be a tough play. Jeter gets himself an infield hit. Well, later today, catch a new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as Joe gives his thoughts on Jabba Chamberlain's return and previews the upcoming week's road trip to Detroit and Toronto. Then on Yankees on Deck, presented by Blimpie, take a tour of Derek Jeter's hometown of Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's all today after the postgame. It's only on Yes. Eric Wedge takes the ball from Sean Kelly, and he will go to the bullpen again with Teixeira coming up again after Cano. Cano's first. Stick around. Missed the WB Mason postgame show. Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty recap today's finale and update you with scores from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovich gets the team's reaction, and you can hear Joe Girardi's postgame comments on the manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. You watch the game, you got to watch the postgame. And Bob and John and usually Jack do such a great job, and Meredith, you got to watch it.
A lot of information that we don't give them, Michael. Those little nuggets come up after the game.
That's right. Lucas Luetge comes on. 30 strikeouts and 29 in the third innings. A few too many walks, but opponents at 184 against this young lefty. Cano 2 for 4. And a strike.
batting average against 184. I mean, that's impressive. And that usually tells you if a guy coming out of the bullpen, especially against lefties, has that big breaking ball. Something that can come in full left-handed hitters.
And against left-handers, 9 for 59. That's a 153 batting average. Soriano ready. It's not going to be a save situation. Yankees up by 4, but hasn't worked that much of late. They didn't need him on Friday. Complete game by Sabathia. Thursday was an off day. Yesterday, Yankees didn't have a lead. Ground ball to second. Let's see if it's a double play. There's one. And there's two. You know, Paul, I think Robinson Cano might be one of the best players in baseball. But if I could change one thing about him, he doesn't run the hardest to first base all the time. And that's a double play ground ball and wasn't exactly busting it.
You know what it is? It's his frustration because he knows he could do more with that pitch. He pulled off that ball, and it's, you kind of lose sight of what's going on the field. Such a good hitter that, you know, he's able to drive that ball over the shortstop head, and he rolled over.
And you just never know what's going to happen. The transfer at second base, and you know, if one guy could do it like Derek Jeter every single time, and I'm sure he's disappointed when he doesn't hit the ball well. And Mark Teixeira picked up an RBI today because he ran hard out of the box on a ground ball. I mean, there's a blemish on everybody's game, and I guess that's Robbie's. Count 3-1. Rip foul.
Oh, there's a snag right there. A ball boy. The throw guys down the line, hope they make the play so they get a ball.
See, now that was a polite kid. He turned around and said thank you.
That doesn't happen a lot in the Bronx. Is that what you're telling me?
What was that?
That doesn't happen a lot in the Bronx.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen as often as should in the world. A walk to Teixeira. So Andrew Jones going to pinch hit for Ibanez. Ground ball to third. Sean Figgins backs up, goes the short way, and that will do it here in the eighth. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. We go to the ninth inning. Yankees will try to close it out. They lead 6-2. at the Motor City to take on Cy Young Award winner. The Yankees will have Justin Verlander facing them, and the Tigers as well. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then join John Flaherty, and I'm going to be there as well at Comerica Park for all the action only on Yes. That should be great. 4 games against the Tigers. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday afternoon.
Some big names in that series, Michael. Verlander, Cabrera, Fielder. Huh?
Yankees.
Yankees, period, right?
Rafael Soriano, Paul, has not pitched since last Sunday.
Yeah.
That's why you see him in here in a 6-2 game. And this is going to be interesting to watch. Sometimes closers don't pitch well unless it's a safe situation. Not because they don't want to, but they don't have that same adrenaline rush. Let's see what he does as Trayvon Robinson leads off. Right back to Soriano. 1 pitch, 1 out. Wow.
Well, that gets your attention, right? A breaking ball right off the handle, but right back at it.
You know, while the Yankees are on this road trip, Paul, Yankee Stadium's not going dark. There's a big soccer match while the Yankees will be away. Right here at the stadium Wednesday, Real Madrid against AC Milan. That is supposed to be a great game if you're a soccer fan. Big-time teams.
Who is it?
Real Madrid against AC Milan. Count 1-0 on Kawasaki. Now it's 1-1. You know, you said that could be a wake-up call. That is something that, you know, pitchers should never really just go at it halfway because you can get hurt on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Sliced out to left field, but the Yankees had him play perfectly. Suzuki puts it away for the second out. Yankees 1 out away.
So where is the soccer field? This way?
Yeah, I believe that's the way it is.
Yeah. Danny Cunningham will have his work made up. Cut out for him.
And here's Sean Figgins, who is 0 for 2 with a walk today. And a rare start for him. He's averaging 179. He's 13 for his last 97. And a strike to Figgins.
About something that might help him, just a complete change of scenery, and there's no way you just have totally lost your confidence as a baseball player at this point.
Count 2-1. Count 3-1 on Figgins. Yankees looking to take this series and end a 9-game homestand, which has not been a resounding success for them. A victory here, and they will go 4-5 on the homestand. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox, 2 out of 3 to the O's, and now they're trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. 1 strike away. Ball game over. Yankees win 6-2. So the Yankees go 4-5 on the homestand. 3 successful outs and successive outs for Soriano. He does not untuck, I guess, unless it's a save. But the Yankees end up winning this one 6-2 and 4-5 on the homestand. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Could be Ibanez with that big hit, and it could be Chris Stewart who also had a great game as well. A couple of guys out of the bullpen. The bullpen did a great job. One base runner, by the way, in 4 innings at work, just a walk to Kyle Seager by Robinson. So the Yankees win 6-2. We'll come back, give out an award, and then wrap it up.